Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. If you're new to Stamping A to Z, it is my weekly live that I do on my Facebook page. It was A to Z because it all started with going through all the products and pieces and parts of everything from A to Z, how to use them, not just for beginners because it's always something new, a new way to use it. Pull out your old stuff and create something new and get you excited about using your old stuff too. Today we are actually looking at something new, which is the Mediterranean Blooms Suite. But again, you can take ideas from it and use whatever you have. Hopefully craft along with me. If you're watching, let me know, leave a comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you. You can always hit that share button. It's the biggest compliment you can give is to share and grow our community. That would be awesome. Anyways, I'm excited for today, but I was hoping to do, we just had some online exclusives be released and I had ordered them, but it took them a while to ship. So I'm hoping it'll be here by next week so I can show you some of those because it's got some fun stuff again. But for now, we're going to go into the annual catalog and we're going to look at the Mediterranean Blooms. Don't forget that for the month of June, we have that 10% off of our bundles, just the die and stamp set bundles that are in the annual catalog. So that doesn't include the bundles that have a punch with it, but it's the ones that have the die. And the machines are 10% off as well. So the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the mini are both 10% off, which I've never seen that big one go on sale. So if you don't have one and it's on your list, try and fit it in June. And you can also put any of that into a starter kit. So that's a good way to get an even bigger discount because you don't pay shipping on that. So if you have questions about that, reach out to me, let me know. I can always help you. But let me get you, so this is going to be a test. I have put this already in the holder and I'm going to rotate it downwards, which means it might be upside down when I put it in. I'm not sure. We're going to try this out and see. So hopefully as you get a close-up of my nose. Okay. Oh, I see what the problem is. It's facing the wrong way. Okay, hang on, because I usually do it the other way, otherwise I can't see. Let's see, because I usually go like that. That's why that doesn't work. Okay, that doesn't work that way. Anyways, we have it figured out. Like, why can't I see through? And I've moved the location, so let's just see if we can not make you too seasick, right? All right, hopefully that is okay. Let me just find it on Facebook here. So hopefully I can see what I'm showing you. It's always helpful. There we go. Okay, we are in business for now. So the Mediterranean Blooms Suite can be found on page 34, 35 of our annual catalog. It's a very different suite, and I'll say there's positives and minuses. This called out to me because this reminds me of, well, it's Mediterranean Blooms, so it reminds me of like kind of the Greece with all the blue and white paper tiles, which I'm a sucker because it's the paper, it's not the but anyways, fell in love with the paper. I love the dies that it has some frames and things you can use with almost anything, and then it has the cutouts for the stamps, which is nice. I do wish that Stampin' Up! Would have done a lemon stamp. Oh, it froze up. Hang on. Let's see if I can get it back. Let's see. Does it want to come back? Let's see if I can. Yeah, so I wish there was a lemon stamp that went. So right now there's you've got the citrus, the oranges, and then you've got the cutouts for those. And in the designer series paper, the dies, both these dies, cuts out the paper, like, I mean, usual, right? We always have one kind of paper that it does, but there's also lemon paper, which is very similar to the citrus, but it has the lemons, and of course, it doesn't fit. So I kind of wish they had done a lemon. I'm secretly hoping maybe they've got like a second release that'll be like to go with, because sometimes they've been doing, you know, little things to go with other ones that we already have. So maybe, but it's also easy to fussy cut. You'll see I'm fussy cutting one today. Surprise, surprise. Those of you who know me, I am not a big fussy cutter. Hi, Elon. So yeah, not my forte. So there's the stamp set, the dies. So it's a big set of dies because there's the cutouts for the stamp set, and then there's these. So it's got an outline that cuts out the outline. It's got the, what do you call it? The greenery. And so it doesn't cut, you'll see, it doesn't cut out the greenery unless you use this outline die. And then you've got an inside one, which I haven't used in my cards today, but I was thinking it would be perfect for behind a sentiment. And then you have kind of the greenery coming out. And then you've got some extra greenery pieces as well. So it's a big die set. Elon, with all of your cruises through the Mediterranean, this would be good scrapbooking for you. Ah, I froze again. What the heck? Last time I had no troubles with my iPad freezing. And today, I wonder if it's the location, because I moved where I put it. And it could be. So let's get started and make a card. So, first card, I have pre-cut some stuff. So I've got a piece of the designer series paper from the same Mediterranean Blooms. This is the pre-cut greenery. So this is how it cuts if you don't use that outline piece and you just use this piece only. It cuts out the center, and then you're left with this nice frame of, I call it greenery, but I'm doing it in white. So it's not really greenery. And then you'll see my next card. If you want to be very smart with your paper and make your paper go further, you can cut out the blue. And I've cut this down because I didn't want it to show, but if you cut the same size and you cut it down, you can use the outline in the next card and the inside on this card, and it glues quite nicely. But I just decided, for the sake of speediness, that I would just use a solid piece, right? Lemons. Why didn't they do the lemons? What, like, the oranges are fine, but I want a lemon set. I really do. I hope, I'm going to put it in their suggestion box that we need lemons. All right, so to glue this down, I'm just going to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to glue the 4 corners for sure. And then we can kind of come along here. And then I'm just going to put a few dots. I probably shouldn't do this on top of the designer series paper. I'm living on the edge. Feeling brave. Okay. Just to kind of, so that the leaves aren't sticking up everywhere, because you know, if it gets caught or whatever, and then it's sticking up, then it could get torn. Don't want that. Okay. Oops. Ah! No! I'm gonna have glue everywhere. Probably would have been easier if I put it. Oh, it's frozen again. I don't know what is going on. Let's see if we can. That's very strange. Last week, I didn't freeze at all. This week, it doesn't like me. All right, so we've got our background. And then we will take, I cut, so it's the 11 by 4 1/4. So you cut your standard piece of paper, the opposite of the usual. I don't know, is it the usual? And then, do you guys know this trick where you can kind of feel which way cardstock wants to bend? It naturally wants to bend this way. So I'm going to put my score line this way. And you have the only, especially if you're making a score line, it's not as important because you're kind of breaking up the fibers anyways. But if you're just folding it without a score line, it's quite important to do that. Otherwise, you'll end up getting kind of a frayed edge where it kind of tears. So always find kind of that natural way that it wants to go. And then we've got our card base. Then I decided to cut Friend. Now this isn't from the same suite. This is from the Friends for Life dies that I used last week. I wanted to create a card that wasn't necessarily from that set, like to mix and match. And the only thing with Friend is you have to make sure that you don't forget the eye, the dot for the eye. It likes to stay in there, which is good because then you don't lose it. But you have to make sure you remember to grab it. And then I did put adhesive. So I stuck with the Mediterranean Bloom colors from that designer series paper. If you're ever looking for the colors, the catalog, I will show you in a second, has them nicely listed when it's a suite. When it's not a suite, you can look on the back of the designer series paper. Now I have to glue down the D because it didn't have adhesive on the back there. But I'll show you. Let's see, 30, oops. I thought I said it was 32. Maybe it was, oh no, 34. So yeah, it has the colors, basic colors here. And then if you look on the back of the DSP packaging, it lists kind of all the colors: Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Daffodil Delight, or like it just goes through them all. This is just kind of your base main colors of the suite, and you can't even see that. I just realized. Oh dear. Okay, so let me get this eye before the dot before I forget it. And then yeah, I need some putty. Okay, here we go. There's our dot. And we just need, now this is a really old, I kept forgetting to take out my fine tip glue pen. It's quite old and I found a bunch of crusties in it and I kind of tried to pull it out, but it's still not functioning as, I think because it's sat for so long, but it still works. It's working again. I just, oof, I put too much. Just hold that down. That's the one thing with liquid glue. It takes a bit longer to dry. And then the hardest part, the reason I don't like this glue is getting that pin inside. That's the hard part for me. And then I have a small strip of Night of Navy and I'm going to heat emboss, because you know, you could just put friend, but then there's it says just checking in is one of the stamps in the Mediterranean blooms. So I took that. And put some Versamark. I like to keep the Versamark upside down so that it stays as juicy as possible. Then we're gonna hold it with our clamps while I grab, oh, I put the powder away. I had the windows open trying to cool off the house last night and didn't want the powder blown. It looks like I need some more white, but I have more white. I want to change. Look at, that's just from my finger holding the paper. I want to change the containers so that it is always sealed. Because I think leaving them open is not the greatest idea. And then I'm just going to heat up my heat gun. And it froze again. Oh my goodness. I wonder if it's because it's, oh, maybe that's what it is. I can't even get the, there we go. Okay. I had my iPad on the other side. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I had them further apart from each other, so maybe, I don't know if that affects it. I can't imagine, but you never know, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and then, oh, as my tool goes flying, okay, let's move the powder so that doesn't go flying everywhere. And then we need some dimensionals. Oh, we probably don't. I probably want to cut this down. We don't need all of that. This is another thing on my wish list. I have to make a list of things that I want to put in the suggestion box for Stampin' Up. So another one on my wish list is to have a set of like sentiment rectangle cutout, like die cuts. I like things to be, I have a hard time, like this is actually pretty good, but a lot of the times when I go to cut a small strip or I'm using a leftover strip, it's like slightly off, and maybe it's my cutter, I don't know, but I would like to have a die that, and then I know it would be square and good. I'm going to use this glue because I feel like I need to practice with the fine tip glue pen. I don't quite have the control of the amount. You know how when you like kind of get used to something, you can have better control, I think, maybe. And then I can put this on. There. And then all we have to do is glue it down. And I'm going to try and unfreeze my screen before I start on my next card here. There we go. So it's got the Mediterranean feel and colors, but it's not really using the citrus, I guess. Okay. Take me out of here. I wonder if it is the closeness, because really, it was not freezing up on me last week the way it is today. Or maybe I just need more active commenting. We'll go with that. Okay, next card. The next one I have, what am I going to do next? Oh yes, so the one I said that you could do the outline if you wanted to be, save your paper. Let's see if I can find the outline I had cut. Hang on. Hold please. Let's see. I had it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, Smoky. Got that. Don't need that. So this is what you would end up with. So this is cut at 4, which is nice because when you're cutting the 12 by 12, you can get 3 sheets of it. So the inside I cut out, and that would have been used, the inside can go here, right? Instead I used a rectangle, but you could use it there. I used it here. So that's from this, and you can't see, it's slightly larger than this. So you're okay with using it in behind. You don't need to use a rectangular piece. And then for this next card, you could use this, or you can use a full piece. Just depends if you want to be not frugal. What's the word? Anyways, so I did cut out an inside piece with basic white. I then embossed it with the Distress Tile 3D embossing folder. So that's that piece. And then I cut out another piece of the wood grain from the Country Woods designer series paper. So I cut out a whole piece and then I tore it so that I could put it here. So I'm just going to glue that now. And you can see this is kind of curling because I tend to use a baby wipe on my paper before I run it through. And that way it really holds the print, but it also allows the paper not to break. So instead of the fibers tearing, it just kind of lets them stretch. So I'm going to do that. Ooh, I almost ripped that. And then I'm going to take, oh, I had a block. Let's use it for something. Okay, so I'm going to take one of our blocks here and I'm just going to hold it down like so while I do the other part. Oh no, I didn't. It's like I forgot, but I didn't forget. So I'm going to probably use this one. And like I said, I wish they had a set with stamps and dies because, you know, designer series paper doesn't last forever unless you hoard it and That's the thing. I used to like not want to cut into it because then I wouldn't have any left, but you just got to use it, because what's the point of having it if you're not using it? And then I'm just going to come in, I'm going to fussy cut. Look at that, it already froze again. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. And I don't have to go all the way down and in. You can leave some white. It really, nobody's gonna know any different, right? However you make it is how it is, because there's no rules. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever it is. Nobody knows what was in your head when you were planning it. So, you know, if you make a mistake, that is how it should be. It's not a mistake because nobody knows but you. So in your head it might be a mistake, but it's kind of my take on it. There's always a fix. I do make lots of mistakes. I just fix it. Or not even fix it, or just change directions and go with it. Is the best way you can kind of, you know, handcrafting. It's not a machine crafting. It's not gonna be perfect. And voila, we have our lemons. So, and then I'm just gonna put some dimensionals again on the back of that. One there. One there. Then we could put a few little ones. I find I've been going through so many dimensionals. I'm trying to be better at using little ones. You know, just put a few big ones, and then, because I'm always out of the big ones. Maybe in here. And then I'm going to cut just a little strip to put on the stem. And then we have our lemons ready. Then we need a sentiment. Now, lost everything. Shuffling everything around. Okay, so I like to put quite a bit of powder on. And yes, my black is no longer black. I will show you how to fix that after. So then I'm going to use the All the Love. I'll use the Versamark again. I used to get so frustrated at the fact that my black was no longer black, or some of the darker papers, and I didn't use the powder as much, and then I'd get these white spots everywhere, which probably drove me more crazy than having this discolored black. But then I saw, I can't remember who it was, and they used this trick, and it was like, it's so easy. It's like, why didn't I think of that forever ago? But, you know, takes someone else to kind of get your brain going. Oh yeah, that works. Okay, heating up that. So I used to always go in with it cold, and I'd sit there forever, just kind of, but ever since I've waited that extra 30 seconds for it to warm up, and then come in it like melts pretty much instantly. Look at that, right away. Like, why did I do that all those years? Again, the things, little things you learn. Silly things. Like, you think once you learn it, it's like, geez, why didn't I think of that a long time ago? Okay, so the trick is, once you've got it melted and cooled, take a microfiber cloth and wipe it. You don't need a wet cloth, you just wipe it and it picks up the powder, and then your paper is beautiful and black again. Isn't that awesome? Like, why did it take this much? All right, sorry Yolanda, I missed your that you were leaving. my comments are partly frozen too. Okay, so I've got my sentiment, I've got all my pieces and parts. I'm going to cut this down. Okay, then it's time to assemble. So I've got a piece of thick white here, and I noticed it got bent somehow. I'm not sure what happened to it, but it did. So I'm going to make sure I put my glued down stuff on the bent part so it doesn't show, and hopefully it'll flatten with time. Okay, so we've got, so you could put it on a full blue, which is the easy way, or if you manage to center, when you cut this out, you could glue this down and then stick this in. But since that would take time and my fine tip glue pen, I'm just going to glue this down. Be a little bit quicker. When you're not in the throes of a video live, then I can use that piece. But definitely use it. And then we're going to glue this down. I like to glue my embossed pieces because it kind of gets, I feel like it gets a better grip. You don't have to worry about missing pieces and parts. And then we'll put the block down to help that. For a second, I should have done that first and then done the, and then I'll just start removing these while we're waiting for that to take hold. Okay. That's like country, Grease country to me. Mamma Mia is what I think of when I see this. And then the lemons, ugh. And then we just, oh, I put my thing too far down. Now I can probably cheat and just snip a piece of this off because you're not going to see it. There we go. And then I can get it, sneak it in there a little bit better. And then I'm going to glue, well, I guess I could pop it up, but I think I'm going to glue this down. Make sure that's under there. Okay. There we go. Then we've got card number 2, and hopefully I'm showing it to you because here, I'm gonna let's try and unfreeze this again. Oh my goodness. All right. Yes, you can kind of see it. Okay, that's card number 2. Last card. Last card. I'm still, my brain is still thinking. Not thinking in that, what am I going to do? But I'm trying to, so just like I said, I like the squareness of a sentiment die. I decided that this beautiful paper looks like tile to me, and I really like it. But I wanted to cut it up and make it like tile. But to cut it, again, is not so precise and not so straight. So I would love to have, I thought about using the postage dies. And I was gonna, but I didn't want them to look like stamps. I wanted them to look like tiles. So I went away from that. And then, I don't know, we're cutting it for now. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. So now I don't remember I didn't write down my measurements, and I don't have a calculator. So this would be 1.5, 1 3/4, and a very like 1/16. Oh my, 1 3/4 and 1/16. Is that right? Does that look like half? Let's hope it's half. Let's see. Nope. Close, but not quite. Okay, and then we've got 4 3/4 and a smidge. So we want 1.5, 3, 1.5 to 3 to 4.5. So 1 5/8 and a smidge. And a smidge. And again, it doesn't have to be completely okay, that's not right, is it? That's 1.5. Oh dear. Did I do that right? Well, let's just kind of go in the center here. I have the worst eyes in that they bug me all the time. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. They pull, I have a lot of issues with the nerve in the back and stuff, and I don't know if that's part of me seeing. I remember when we were building our house, and things would be like, I can't remember what the standard was, but if it was less than like 1/4 of an inch off, they wouldn't do anything about it. And I would see if it was 1/4 of an inch off, and it would drive me nuts. And they hated me for it because you're not supposed to be able to see that kind of detail. Okay, so I'm just figuring out which pieces go with which, because you want it to look like the painted tile that it is. Does this go this way? No, that's not the right way. What do we do here? No. This, no. What the heck? What the... What? What did I do? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm like not sure how this goes. Holy tamale, what did I do? Like this maybe? No? Well, maybe some of these are supposed to be up top and I put it on the, oh yeah. So this one goes like this. Okay, that's number one. Okay, we're getting this here. I forgot, you probably can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, then we need this one, maybe? Yes? No? Yes? And yes. Okay, that was way harder than it should have been. Oh my goodness. Okay, and I see every time I do this, I should have written it down. I end up trimming it down unless I go more on the inside like that. That's what I'll do. Okay, so what I try to do to try and get this as straight as possible is I try to leave the same distance from top and side. And since we've got a bit extra, right? So if we go here, I think we have more extra on the top more than we do on the side. So I'm going to just come up top with what I think I have from the side. And then if I do this one the same, then that one's about the same. Okay. And then I'll just trim off the excess. Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I just did that. Oh. Okay. Let's grab wet wipe. Let's see if we can. So, there is a fix for this. I will show you once that dries. Can't believe I did that. It might be sticky forever, but at least I'm putting things on top of it. So maybe I'll have to make sure I get that spot that's sticky. Butterfingers. Butterfingers is what this is. Okay, and you can tell it's slightly off, but like I said in the beginning, it's handmade. It's not going to be perfect, but I like things to be, I don't know, my eyes like things to be just straight. The nice thing, I mean, maybe it tires my eyes out, but the nice thing is I don't usually need much of a ruler to line things up because I can see it. But so when my paper isn't straight, it makes it hard to make that nice, to line it up all nicely. And then we're just going to cut this edge here. It looks like it'll be perfect at the 3 3/4. There we go. And then we've got our, so the boho blue is like the grout lines. I got thinking after, I should have tried it on to the navy instead of using the navy as, I should have tried that this time. Oh well. Next time. When I'm not on camera, fumbling everything around. So this is sticky. I'm going to let it dry a little bit more before I show you a way that you can possibly fit. So the first start is to just kind of try and wipe off any excess with your wet wipe. And then I'll show you what you can do aside from that. So next I've cut a circle from the Spotlight on Nature dies that I used the last, I can't remember if I used it last week or not, but I definitely used it the time before, and possibly last time as well. They are very, even if you don't want the, I don't think this one's a suite. I think it's just a bundle. So the bundle is on sale. So it's probably cheaper. You almost probably get the stamp set, not quite free, but it's a lot better of a deal if you buy them as the bundle, because you get, so when you buy a bundle, you're already getting 10% off to purchase it as a bundle instead of separately. And then for this month, the sale is that you get an extra 10% off. So it's like getting 20% off the bundle. So we've got the circle, and then we've got the paper that has the dies that go with it that you can cut out. So you can use a die cut, but I wanted to show you as well that we have the stamps that are the exact same that match. And if you want to stamp it so that you get this kind of no line look, don't stamp it with black or Memento or whatever you have. I used, now where did I had a piece of white, here it is. I used the basic beige because it's a nice light neutral. And then I stamped it full strength. If you really wanted it to be, actually I think by the end, you pretty much don't see any of the lines, so it's okay. And I like to be able to see, I'm not an artist, so I'm not that great, and I'm not a great colorer, so I like to have the lines. And then I've got all my blends. I'm not going to color this all. I did take the time to pre-color one, but I just wanted to show you kind of how you can start. So I have peach pie and pumpkin pie, which are two of the colors, and I always like to start by using the lightest color, and I just go and fill in my entire whatever I'm coloring. So here would be the orange or clementine or whatever. I think they're clementines. I don't know. Some kind of citrus fruit. Would be another thing that would be nice if Stampin' Up! Like had background like stories to it and like said what it is, and just make it easier. So then I'm going to take my, oh, I don't know if I need the dark. Let's try the light pumpkin. Nope, that's the peach pie. Let's try light pumpkin pie. Let's see how dark it is. Because once your image is wet with the lighter color, it kind of is, it blends better. Like you're not going to get that horrible stark line. So then I can come in with my dark peach pie, which is almost as dark as the light pumpkin pie. And then this is the light pumpkin pie again, just kind of blend it all in. So you've got that kind of dark to light color. So you would just go, and you can see the line is already kind of fading away because the blends do spread as you're coloring. So you can have a no line coloring. So let's just skip the whole coloring. And I colored this one. I used just the regular marker, the Early Espresso, and I kind of regretted it. So on this one, I was going to use the SU 100 because we don't have Early Espresso blends for some reason. Not sure why. So I think it would look better because the blends just, like, this is very stark. Whereas you can see already, this is kind of bleeding into the the stamped area. So anyways, the SU100 I think is the way to go over the marker. That's the only one. And then I used Old Olive, the dark light in the dark here. And then I used Daffodil Delight, or no, yes I did. But first I used the light Lemon Lolly, and then I came in with the dark Daffodil Delight to give it its detail. And so, I mean, is it as good as the artist version? No, but it's not bad, if I do say so myself. And then I'm going to take the Hello stamp from the same set, and we will use our Memento. So I was thinking, my youngest is going to Portugal, and I was just thinking I really wanted to try and go and make it work, because everybody says, oh, Portugal's so beautiful. But Greece is really the one on my list. So is Portugal Mediterranean enough that I should just go to Portugal? Or should I try and plan something to get to Greece? I don't know. There's lots of deals to Spain right now, but nothing. I haven't really looked at Greece, but definitely not to Portugal. I definitely don't want to go to Greece in the summer. I think it'd be way too busy. I want to see the different islands, and I don't need to go during the busiest hot season. Okay, so then let's put this on. Peel all of those dimensional backings off. Put our, oops. And I'll just glue that down, which I probably should have done before I put the clementines on. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I think it's gonna be, before I put that down, it's gonna be mostly hidden, but let's see if I can find it. I know I just saw it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is from long, long ago, but I know they sell them at craft stores, wherever. It is a rubber, not a rubber, a glue eraser. So you can pick up adhesive with it. So I can find, and it just kind of makes the glue, see how you end up getting the glue balled up? So now it's not sticky anymore. So I can just go over where the glue is. I mean, you don't want to tear your paper, but I just want to push it over enough that I'm just trying to sew. If I go this way, it'll probably be better. And that should take care, yeah. Don't get any of the glue. You never knew I made a big boo-boo. And that is how you fix your mistakes. See, I'm really good at fixing mistakes. It's not because I don't. I remember I have a friend, and she used to always be amazed at how clean my house was. This was before kids. She has not seen me with kids. But then I remember one day, I think she came over while I was cleaning, or before I started. I can't remember if she dropped in or what it was. And I just remember her saying, well, now I figured it out. You're not like the tidiest person on earth who never makes a mess. You just always clean it up. And so, so it's kind of the same with my crafting. I don't not make mistakes. I just know how to fix them. So there you go. I am not perfect by any stretch. I probably would like to be. And now I'm trying to pull up the comments and they're not. Maybe I'm totally frozen it. Am I frozen up for good? Oh, there we go. Okay. So our 3 cards. So here's the one that I've colored. Here's one with a cutout from the Designer Series paper. This is the Fussy Cut Lemons. And then this is just a non-citrusy card. So you can kind of, I mean, you could even use this for Christmas with some greens and reds. You could, I really like the dies in this set. It's quite fun. So I really want to play with it. So that's what I used for today. Hopefully I'll have some fun new techniques for you next week. Have a great rest of your week and hopefully we'll see you next week. All right, bye.